Hi everyone, Mitch from SportsChatPlace.com and PickDogs.com, and it is Sunday, May the 10th, 2020, here with your live show. Of course, we're live 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Games, no games, virus, no virus. Doesn't matter. We've been showing up, just working on things, really, is what we've been doing. And, part of it is, just staying in touch with you guys. Part of it is just working on what we do, and I could see already, I got some major tech problems. I'm looking at the screen as I'm talking and stuff, and I'm moving in slow motion. So what it is that my MacBook that I'm using to broadcast the show is grinding right now, and it's just really, really struggling. But these are all things that we're going to work through. One of the things that I'm working on a lot, and you can see it change almost every day, is my studio, the cameras, and basically my set. But I have a lot of things that I'm working on behind the scenes. One of the things is my sound issues, because as you guys know, the guys come in on Skype, and I can control it through the system that we use to record, but it's not like a professional mixer. But I've always used in the past for when I used to do the podcast and stuff like that, and we're going to redo we're going to start doing the podcast again. I always used a professional mixer, and you can see it right there. And there's my Rodecaster Pro microphone, an XLR microphone, which is different than what I'm using right now, this is the Samson G12 right there, and that is that's what I'm using right now. And this is just a USB microphone that just plugs into the back of the computer. But I'm going to show you guys all that stuff, and it's kind of it's not like our final studio. It is basically where I'm at today, and I'm going to explain to you, the things that I like, the things I don't like, and the things that I think, the things where I'm struggling, because not just because of the whole COVID thing, but also living on an island makes this thing extremely difficult. Every cord, every plug seems to be, of course, always the one you don't have is the one you need, right? And it's I have boxes and boxes and boxes of cords. I'll go back with this thing. I'll show you guys tomorrow too. But I have boxes up there of cords and plugs. And of course, I never have the one that I need. I never. So, I'll give you guys a tour of where I'm at. I'm going to show you guys how the other guys show a sports book behind them, even though there's no TVs moving, or, they're showing baseball games in January on the back of them, their screen. Why they do that, I think they think it looks good. Why I choose not to do that, and to explain when I'll be using that, because I'll show you I have the capability to do all of that stuff too. I've been building this studio through the COVID thing, so Amazon, everyone that uses Amazon, you guys know, super slow shipping. Throw in Hawaii, it makes it even worse. So it's things you'll see, like my TV that I watch the games on while I'm going to do the shows is sitting on the floor. 65 inches of television, sitting on the floor on the side. And, here's where I normally shoot the... You can see all the cameras, everything going on, all the lighting. I mean, this has been a chore. So I've enjoyed it though, and I'm not nearly done. But tomorrow we're going to do a full studio update and tour on Mondays with Mitch. But anyways, it is Sundays with the boys, and we got Steve Monahan, we got Chris Ruffalo, and of course Rod Zawacki with us today. And of course we do sim picks at the end of the show. So. We absolutely do sim picks. It's why we write it in the title of the video. Sim picks is always in there. But thank you guys, are the best, man. Seriously, all you guys. We just do what we do because we love it. But really, if you guys don't show up, then we're like some of those other shows that you see 3 people watching and stuff. And it's I just don't even know why you get out of bed for something like that. But anyways, we got. We have sim picks also on the website. Sports Chat Place is one of our websites, and Pick Dogs is the other. There's links in the description if you're watching this on YouTube. But anyways, we did have some sports last night, and we've been having sports for a little bit. Let's bring in Steve Monahan and talk about what sports looks like right now and what it's probably going to look like for a little while. Steve, how's it going today? course, both, my mother long gone, actually, but to everyone out there, it's always Mother's Day, Father's Day. It's like it always to me is, I tell you, the holidays, since the creation of Facebook, have become almost obnoxious. But it's like we work through them. Everyone knows my least favorite holiday on Facebook is Easter. My favorite is always Thanksgiving, but there's nothing worse than Facebook Easter. So Mother's Day is a close second, but we're gonna just turn it off. Is what I'm gonna do. So if you leave something for me on Facebook, I'm probably not gonna see it until tomorrow because I just can't suffer through it. It's painful, guys. It's like if you love your mother as much as you post your shit today, post it every day, man. Every day is Mother's Day, and the same thing with Easter, man. If that's the way you feel on Easter, like all of a sudden you're a priest, it's like do it every day, man. Not just 1 hour out of 365 days because it comes through super inauthentic, Just saying. Anyway, Steve, speaking about authentic, UFC last night went at it. And these guys, no social distancing going on in the ring last night. That's for sure. We're going to have the guys are going to give a recap of this. But the angle that we're looking at is that there were no fans in the stands. What did you think? I mean, I've been watching a little bit of the Korean baseball. They have some like cartoon people in the stands. Tennis is talking about playing the French Open. The fans aren't even allowed to say anything in the French Open. They can can in the clapping, for the French Open for all I care. I don't, Yeah, canned laughter, But exactly. I watched Andy Hall. But they had the prelims were on ESPN, and there were some good fights in there. I'm going to talk to the guys about a couple of the fights that I watched on there and see what they have to say because, like I said, I'm not a UFC guy, but I watched it just to see the fighting piece, just to see some kind of sports. Also, I wanted to see what it looked like without the fans, and I thought it was fine. Obviously, it's better with the fans. I mean, I think it's better with the fans. I think tennis. Same thing as Olympic diving or, any sport where the fans aren't allowed to talk, golf, who cares, It's like, trust me, I play golf I play golf 7 days a week. 4 to 5 of those days, maybe even 6 of them, I play by myself as a single. And I enjoy it. Oh, she's muted. Crap. Sorry about that. There you go. So anyways.
And that's the reason why I think the coronavirus will end by tomorrow.
But anyways, so Steve was on mute again. I was really struck. See, that's why I need the mixing board. My mixing board, because then I can see that his lights are off. Here it's like I hit a button because I hear like some squeaking in the background. Rod's playing with his dog, and it's like it's not, Rod's not playing with the dog because of the show or whatever. He's playing with the dog because the dog loves to play with him as soon as he hears that my intro. It's like I start doing my intro, Benny goes ape shit. It happens almost every single day. But anyway, Steve, we were just talking about sports without fans, and Joe Rogan said that he wasn't, he was supposed to have the setup where he wasn't supposed to go near anybody, and he's just like, screw this. Is like, I'm tested, you're tested, we're all tested. I'm going to go in there, I'm going to do the interview. We're starting. We've been out about a week and 2 days now here in Maui. We haven't had a new case of COVID in days. I mean, days. Over 90% recovery here. Where I could already see it, people are loosening up. I mean, yeah, the people that are high risk, are treating it themselves like they're high risk, and I don't blame them. Like, I play in a golf group on Sundays that I don't play in anymore because the guy threw his wedge one time, and I just don't like that whole throwing wedges thing, because I'm always afraid, what if he misses? It's like he's not that great of an athlete. That's why he's throwing his wedge to begin with. What if it lets go? What if the release happens a little early and I get wedged? It's like, it's like there's a lot of different things that go through your head when you see a wedge flying through the air. But,
Well, I'm golfing next Sunday for the first time, so
So what are the rules in New Jersey?
They're starting to not get back to normal, but it's just a slow increment of, you see people walking, you see people mill about. You're not seeing groups of 20, but you're seeing some socialization starting to take place. And again, I'm in the hotbed here in New Jersey, New York area, with the corona. But talking about sports with no fans, it's just going to take some getting used to. I mean, I think we talked about the Dolphins are already contingency plan together for when the season starts. They're going to have separate entrances. They're going to, if you want a beer, you want some food, you'll order it from your seat. You'll go up and pick it up. If when the game is over, it's going to be row by row leaving. I don't think I have 80,000 people in the stadium. Maybe.
How about canned cheering in the stadium? Because they do this stuff for the practices.
They got all the electronics for it, don't they?
They certainly do. I mean, we have it here. I mean, I don't know how to use it yet, but we have all the same stuff here. I just like to do that sort of stuff, and it's like they remember the announcer list game with the Jets and the Dolphins. See, we have it here. We could do. We have,
That's right.
Remember the announcer list game? I'd love to have a game without Joe Buck. I'd love to have it. I just think it would be just a treat. It's like, where you could just change announcers. Kind of like you get a board and you're like, who do you want to call this game? It's like Joe Buck. You just have an X through it. It's like, Tony Romo. Yes. Jason Witten. No. Never.
But like the arenas would probably have a better advantage of piping in the noise and trying to make it seem like there's people actually there.
Yeah, I just. Yeah, well, they put the fake people and said you could also on TV you can computer graphics those in as well. I don't know. It's kind of, do you want to do that? Do you don't want to do it? But I think that I think that they'll come up with things like music and things, and they'll pipe music in, and they'll do things like that. They'll kind of dress it up a little bit. But I have to say that a lot of times, I know it affects the game, but the actual on TV, I don't think it has a heck of a lot of difference. Really,
I don't think so.
Especially tennis. I mean, if there's an event that should be canceled, it should be the French Open and the Olympics, man. It's like, you don't want to talk about you don't want to talk about things no one cares about. And I know.
Think about tennis. You can't talk. You can clap in between points, and pretty much you got to keep quiet. So what's the difference really when it comes to tennis? Golf, same thing.
I got shushed at Pete Sampras Andre Agassi match in Cincinnati. They came by and shushed me.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, last tennis match I ever went to. It's back when I was drinking. They shushed me. Like, I said to the guy says, "Shh." He comes by, he's like, "Sir, you're gonna have to keep it down." I said, "This isn't for me." I'm heading over to the old Riverfront Stadium. Go watch the Reds.
Did you stay for the whole match?
Go watch the Reds. I believe Sampras won. I don't remember. It was, like I said, I was drinking back then, but I was cheering for Pete like no one's business. Like, more than no one's business. Let's just say, I'm pretty sure he heard me.
I'm pretty confident in that.
I used to love watching the Reds games, though, in Cincinnati. No doubt about it.
At the NBA, they had their meeting on Friday with the players. I don't think the NBA knows what they're doing, and I'm not faulting them. I think they're just doing this on the fly, day by day. I really have no answer for when it's going to start, how it's going to start.
My thoughts are that as soon as the rest of the states start to see what it's like to get back out of your house and start to feel what that feels like and what it looks like and how people are about it, I think the better chance we have of sports. Because I'm telling you, while I'm not ready to get onto an airplane right now, and while I'm not ready to sit in a crowded stadium, I sure as hell don't mind going over to the golf course, getting in a cart that somebody else has wiped down for me, and all those different things. It's like you kind of say, well, we went through our 14 days. Nobody else has been here. We went through more than 14 days, 6 weeks, right? We went through 6 weeks. So I think the people that are have it or like are high risk, then they're going to have to be careful. It's like just like anything else. It's like if I can't swim, I'm going to stay out of the ocean. It's like a lot of common sense here can come into play, but I think the next week will tell. The next week and a half are going to be very telling because in Atlanta you can go and sit down in a restaurant now, and they're doing it. It's like it's certainly not what they're showing on TV, but you certainly can do it. I don't know what they're showing on TV because I don't watch the news, but they're certainly doing it. I know people that live in Atlanta, and I know people have gone out to eat.
Start the season. I mean, everybody should start at the same time. I mean, you're going to have different cities that are more, like Jersey, New York, whatever. Pockets where it's more than the other ones.
Yeah, but I think testing
teams right now going into their facility.
Testing.
And you got teams that want to do it.
Testing and quarantine. You have to have like a compound complex, where it's like everyone is kind of together, the same thing, no outsiders at all, unless they're tested as well, and you move like that, and it's kind of like how we are here. We're isolated in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. I happen to live in the place that's the furthest from land of any place in the entire world, and we are really isolated. Anyone that comes in, there are still people coming in, but very, very few, thankfully, and it's 14-day quarantine. If you break your 14-day quarantine, they send you back. You can't get a rental car. You can't get anything until you've shown you've done your 14 days. You can't do anything. It's like at the hotel, I believe they're taking, if you check into a hotel, they're taking your key. So they're dead serious about it. Anyways, we're going to, hopefully by the time we get to Monday, we have more news on this. And I really think, like I said, just judging on the way things are going here, and from, I'm not hearing about rampant cases in Atlanta or anything, I think we're in good shape. Anyways, Steve, we'll be back in just a couple minutes. We'll bring we'll bring you back for the Sim Picks. I'm going to bring the guys on, Rod and Chris, and we'll go from there. So, hey guys, Rod, how's it going? Chris?
It's all good. On a beautiful morning.
Chris, how you doing?
Good. Back at the duplex.
Back at the
compound.
At the compound. Back, it's World Traveler. It's gone from end to end of Mississauga. Anyways, we had UFC last night, and from what I watched of it, it seemed to be, at least it was sport. In the women's match that I watched, and I'm not gonna pull any punches here, as they say. In the women's match that I watched, that was on ESPN, Waterman and Diaz or something like that, Esparza. One of the judges had it 30-27 for the woman that lost. Right? She clearly lost every round.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly. I mean, I know nothing about UFC, but I have to say, if you're getting punched in the face and kicked in the stomach a lot, and you're not kicking and punching the other person in the face, how do you win? How do they have you 30-27. I didn't know the UFC was known for boxing judge scorecards. Thankfully, the other judges had it right, and one of them had it 30-27 the other way, and the other one had it. The other one had it where you could maybe see it 2 rounds to 1. Maybe. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. Do they just take away the judging all together in UFC and just fight to the finish? I think if you see judging like that, how do you get to that card? I mean, Rod, did you see the fight that I'm talking about? And like I said, I'm not a UFC guy, so I don't really know these things. But did I miss something here? I mean,
No. I've seen the fight you were talking about, and then the judges' scores come out, and you're like, "What the?" Even the announcers.
because the first one was 30-27 for the other woman who clearly lost. I mean, it was clear.
She clearly lost 2 rounds to 1. I think she had I think it was close. That second round was really close, but there's no way it was 30. Like,
You think they were pushing her because she was the karate cutie? I mean, Chris, you know what it's like to be used as a sex symbol. So, what do you think? I mean, do you think because she's the karate cutie, they pushed her the way that we kind of push you here?
yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it's like you said. I don't know what's going on with that that score yesterday. Like there was another fight where the scores were absolutely butchered, but I think it was the John Jones fight. Again, his last title fight against Anthony Smith, where I think they butchered the scores completely. But yeah, I don't know. They tell you, Dana White always says, don't put it in the hands of the scorecard and the judges.
Yeah,
he's always telling you to finish it in the ring, finish your fight. Yeah,
yeah, but
don't leave it in the hands of the scorecard.
But in the fight that I watched, it was some serious social distancing going on for a good portion of the fight. I don't know. I can't figure it out. So, in the main event, I believe you guys have it right, or I think you did, right?
Yeah,
you both had it right. And that fight was finished. Yeah, 5-rounder. So Greg Hardy also a winner.
Yeah, buddy hurt his toe. Oh, and Greg Hardy got saved by the announcer. So an empty ring, I think, saved his butt on that fight.
Chris, what's your take on that?
Yeah, you could see his legs were wobbling from all the leg kicks that Jorgen was dishing at him. But again, at the same time, he was throwing some pretty heavy shots, and I will concede that the announcing had a part to do in it, where they bailed him out a little bit. But I still think that he was getting stronger as the rounds went on. He was just trying to figure out how to deal with the leg kicks, because that was his first fight that made it out of the first round. So,
what other fights? How about the Pettis fight against Cerrone? I thought that one was pretty decent.
That was a good fight, and Rod got me on that one. But I will say I do take a bit of a offense with the officiating in that one. Missed a clear eye poke, but
how about the guy who got his eye busted?
Oh, that was Cerrone who got the eye poke. Yeah, I know what I'm saying. The referee missed the eye poke.
No,
I think it could. I'm not sure it would have played a difference in the scoring, because it went to the judges there as well. But clearly, you never know at this point.
We have soccer picks on all the games over at Sports Chat Place, and we'll be covering Bundesliga at Sports Chat Place. Actually, our Pick Dogs as well, and Sports Chat Place. Chris is actually going to cover the Bundesliga over at Pick Dogs. We have Goran will be covering the soccer at Sports Chat. Chris will be covering Bundesliga at Pick Dogs. But we have all the soccer covered at Sports Chat. We have since, all the way. Belarus, Korea, covering all of it over at Sports Chat Place. We have been all along. So all you got to do is go to Sports Chat Place. You can pick exactly the game you want to see, and we got picks on it. There's a tab on the top. I know it's a little hard to find. It says soccer. Click on it. You get there. We're so tricky that way. Tricksters.
I will say though, another result last night. Ngannou looked like an absolute beast, knocking out Rosenstrike in 20 seconds. Rosenstrike came in 10-0, and he just Ngannou just pressed it from the opening bell. And
So you see this in boxing sometimes too, where a guy comes in and he has like just this, he's just bottled up and it's just his night. It's like there was nothing, there's nobody, and nothing that was going to stop that guy. And then once in a while you see a guy, and eventually you get Buster Douglas. The guy just jabs you a bunch of times in the face, stays away, and then all of a sudden all that energy, and you're like, whoa, you're looking for your mouthpiece on the ground in Tokyo, right? Do you think that this is the beginning of bigger, better things, or do you think this is a guy that's just outside of that first 20 seconds, maybe he's a little bit raw and just has some developing to go as well?
I personally think you have to just wait till his next fight to sort of really be the judge of that. I mean, it's his first loss, so we'll see when he comes back. If he stumbles again, maybe he has a confidence issue that's going to need to be worked out. Maybe this will make him hungry and be like, okay, now I've tasted defeat. Now I want to go back in there and win the fight, and maybe now he's going to want to go after him again. So we'll see. I think you have to wait till his next fight though to really judge that.
Joe Rogan, hero or idiot?
It's like he said earlier. He said he was tested. He said the other guys were tested. I mean, it does go against, you're preaching social distancing left and right, and then you got this guy just going in and.
But so here's the way this one goes, though. As Rudy Gobert was for, doing away with sports, this could be the opposite.
Yeah.
To say, hey, I'm tested, he's tested. Here we are 2 weeks later. Here we are, a month later. Right?
And I think that's the difference, is that we're starting to see what happens when you have two people that are tested and are both negative. I think that's obviously the major difference. We didn't have the testing.
I've said this before. I think I had this COVID. I think I did have it. I always show up every day for these shows, and you guys have seen me sick as a dog. And I remember, a few months ago, I even said I've never been sicker than I am right now, and I've done this from the hospital. And I've even said on our live show, I said I've never been sicker than this. And it's like, I rarely go to the doctor for a cold or something. And I went through an entire thing of Z-Pak. I went through another one, and it's like, not everybody that catches it is dying. There's it's certain areas. Certain people are high risk, and certain people aren't. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm certainly not a politician. I'm not even close. As a matter of fact, I usually say anything political. My friends will start emailing me saying, you are way outside of your zone here. It's like, this is not a good place for you. Because it's like, I have no idea. It's funny. I always get like the political people, the political people out there. We all know the political people, right? We all know tons of them. And they're always like, I always say, I have no idea who you're talking about. And then they continue on like you're just joking, like saying you do know who they are. But I really don't know who these people are. I really don't. I got paired up with a guy that was a political consultant playing golf. It was the worst day of my life. It was the worst day of, it was living hell, because every time it'd be like this and this and this. I sat next to Jim Carville on the airplane. And it's like, I talked to him for, probably an hour or so, maybe even longer. We didn't talk about politics one frickin' time, It's like, I haven't, just actually kind of a nice guy. Anyways, I'm going to bring in Steve Monahan here. I'm going to come back and do some simping.
Sorry for, there's people that are still, since all this has happened, they're still stuck on cruise ships. There's cruise ships just floating around in the Atlantic and the Pacific, with people still on them, and they're not letting them off.
Did you say Jim Carville's a nice guy?
He was on. He was the guy I met on the plane was a nice guy. I don't know any other.
All right.
I have no idea what his political views, stances, or anything else about the guy. I don't.
I do.
But that's.
I'll leave it at that.
But that's.
I'll leave it at that.
I don't know. Seemed like a reasonable guy. Anyways, Any want to sum it up here? The fight, Chris. The night of fights was a monster card, right? It was seen as a monster card. Did it live up to the billing?
I'd say for the most part it did. It was a main event for me that I was kind of wondering what was going to be the end result, and you just see Gaethje just light up Ferguson, and Ferguson's got the zombie chin where he just won't go down until the referee has to sort of step in. But I think it did live up to the hype, and it was nice to just have sports back on for it seemed normal for a night, at least a little.
Wow, my mic just got really hot. Let's see what happened. There we go. That should be better.
Yep.
All right. Wow, that was weird, right? Still, we're work in progress here, man. Work in progress. Anyways, Rod, thumbs up, thumbs down on the fights.
I thought the fights were good. The only thing I didn't, Cruz could stop whining. The rep had to stop that. Sorry, you did a face plant.
He was on his way up to his feet. There was 2 seconds left in the
If you
round.
look at that last one after he got hit the 11th time, his hands let go, and he did a face plant right off the mat.
Rematch?
He's done.
Rematch?
Yeah, I'd give him a rematch.
I can't.
But
Cejudo
he
kind of
retired, so Cejudo retired after he won the belt. He retained it for the second time. After the fight was over, he announced his retirement, so there won't be a rematch there.
No.
Henry Cejudo is now retired.
Well, we got Steve back with us. I choose not to run. Anyways, let's get to the sim picks. I choose not to run.
That's Duncan.
That is what that is, though. That is what that is. Right? I choose not to.
Seinfeld reference.
Yes, I choose not to run. Anyways, those of you joining us late, tomorrow on our Mondays with Mitch, we're going to do a studio update and tour. As you guys know, I've been working on my studio. It's not nearly done. I'm saying I'm probably at about the 50% range. Working on my set back here as well. Adding little things, moving things around, whatever. So having fun with it. Trying to make it so it's not, some kind of picture behind me where I act like I'm somewhere else. Wouldn't it be funny if I put a picture of outside, like from my house, behind me? It made it look like I'm at my house. It's like I don't understand like the pictures of the sports book, like behind people. I think it looks so cheesy, man, so cheesy. Just like, let's show a picture of a sports book with a guy playing baseball in January and nobody's moving in any of the pictures. It's like, it doesn't look like you're at a sports book. It looks like you're standing in front of a picture of a sports book. We're gonna beat that one into the ground. That's what we're gonna do. Because it seems like several shows are doing that. Not it's not just one. There's a bunch that are doing it. It's like, what's the point? Just show your wall. Take some crap out of the boxes that you've been lugging around for 20 years and just tape it to the wall. I'm using this stuff, 2-sided tape right here. Like you look over my head right here, like what's on the wall behind me. I started to film because I had this big white space here, so I just grabbed some stuff and just started taping it to the wall with 2-sided tape. Here, I'll show you guys the type of stuff you're going to see tomorrow. It's really, really exciting. So, I'll come in this way. But you can see, so I have a couple of those chips that I was using, my sticker from Aero Surfboards. There's a race number that I have from one of the races I ran. We got the Skull and Crossbones from Nash, and some fight tickets there. I believe that's the Oscar De La Hoya Manny Pacquiao one on top, and my book of matches I saved from the Stardust before they closed. There they are. My Stardust matches. Stuck them up there. There's Pacquiao Cotto as well. And it is Oscar versus Manny right there. So, just, what would you guys rather see? That sort of stuff or a picture of a sports book with nobody in it? I don't know. I don't get it personally. But if that's what you guys want to see, I can do that. It's a hell of a lot easier. Chris, let's get down to business. How did we do yesterday?
There are four blowouts. The Jets beat the Bills money line. Baltimore beat Cincinnati 37-19. Philly beat the Redskins 34-13. And the Cowboys beat the Giants 47-27.
Wow.
2-2.
Sean Lee injured in that Cowboys game?
I think he might have been.
Is he icing the handy right now?
What
I think he's going to be healthy for the next game, though.
What were Amari Cooper's stats in that? Are they doing props in this stuff?
They are actually, but I just
I like the under on Amari Cooper.
Of course you do.
So for
It makes it
one Eastern,
It makes it credible if you have a fake picture of a sports book. Shane, I hope you're joking.
Packers minus 13.5 at home against the Lions.
Not Patricia.
I like the Packers. Even in a sim game, I can't resist a heavy favorite.
Yeah, it seems like that's the way to go. I'll take the Packers with you.
Go Pack.
I'm gonna take Detroit just because I'm not. They have the Packers money line at minus 725. Nothing.
Yeah.
Give me Detroit for fun. Plus 430. Give me Detroit money line.
Vikings minus 3.5 against the Bears.
Bears plus 3.5.
Vikings.
Vikings are home,
I'll
or
go Bears.
Vikings are at home.
I'll take the Vikings.
I'll go Bears for run.
49ers at home minus 12 against Arizona. I think Arizona.
I'll take 49ers.
49ers.
I'm gonna take the Cardinals money line. Another plus 425.
And the last one,
Rod rolling the dice with that big
Seahawks.
sim money. I don't have my other desk where I can just reach around and grab some cash off it. It's like
the last one, Seahawks minus 4.5 at home against the Rams.
Rams.
Seahawks.
Seahawks.
I thought there was 5 games. It's only 4.
The first one started at 10 a.m.
So it's just on the weekends there's 5 games, and on the weekdays there's 4.
Yeah,
Why?
not sure.
I mean,
Just throw that 10
Same reason
o'clock.
they only put a couple hockey up here and there and here and there.
is it like they don't want to overwork the vendors? I mean, I don't understand.
I don't.
Let's have less to bet on.
No hockey sims today. Blues won yesterday.
Hear me out on
Sharks up at Vegas.
Hear me out on this one. We'll have less games, less action. Yes. They have nothing to bet on. We have nothing.
Curiosity.
They have nothing to bet on at all. Let's give them less to bet on.
I love it. Let me go with it.
So what you're saying is,
Great thinking, Johnson.
so what you're saying is fewer betting options. I like it.
Less money.
Ah.
I've never heard this one before. This is really outside the box.
Let me do this again. Less is more.
See, we have, instead of 5 games, we'll go to 4 games. Yeah,
More than
that's
They
it.
actually have probably like
All right.
48 games listed now.
Well, they have the whole group stage listed because it's like a tournament right now, right? So they have the whole first 3 games for every team listed.
So there's 48 sim picks listed.
But we're only go, but I don't want to go
All
day
the way
by
to
day.
9.
All right. Well,
All right. I got lawnmowers starting to blast around here.
yeah, I got a golf course with my name on it.
I got nothing.
All right, tomorrow, Monday with Mitch, we're going to do our studio update tour. So So not the full studio tour because the studio is not done yet. It's a work in progress. Turns out that this mixer here, I can't figure out how to get a mic into a MacBook. I just can't do it. All there is a headphone jack. I bought every kind of splitter that there is out there trying to do it. I have no idea. So if anyone knows how to get a regular 3.55 millimeter into a MacBook as an external mic, like if you plug your Mac headphones into a Mac, it works. If you plug a microphone directly into a Mac, you can't do it unless it's a USB, like this one is. Like this is right here. This thing has a USB cord, and that will go in. So, but my mixer goes in through an audio input in, but it's an older mixer. So I guess I just have to get a new mixer, a USB one, because this way I'll be able to monitor these guys' levels as well as record our show. The whole idea is that, number one, I want the things that were the end game here, and I'll talk about this a lot more tomorrow, is I'm going to take the mixing board. I can fix these guys' sound levels as they go. Anything's going to be better than Skype sound. Anything. And I'll be able to fix it through the mixing board, as well as add in sound effects. We'll have a intro and stuff for the show, all kinds of things like that, and also turn the show into a daily podcast, which I'll be able to record through the mixing board with all the sound and everything. And then we'll have a podcast out on iTunes and SoundCloud and all that kind of good stuff. I'm thinking of calling it Live from the Doghouse. Anyways, it's Mitch, Puck Dogs, Steve Monahan. See you guys Tuesday. Anything else you want to say? You have anything else to say for yourself?
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day to those celebrating. Fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life. Sound effect, you garbage. That would be a good one. See, stuff like that, we just have a button where you say, you garbage. See you later.
Right.